Welcome to episode 285 of the Ben Briggs podcast. I am Ben Briggs. It is Sunday, people. Sunday, the 23rd of April, 2023. And I will begin by apologising for the sound of my voice today, but I am struggling with a cold stroke man flu stroke, whatever you want to call it. Whatever it is classified as these days. I have got some sort of disease, or something like that. So, I'm feeling like dog shit today. Hence the podcast being on the Sunday rather than the Saturday, people, because I spent most of yesterday in bed. I had a gig last night. I'll come to that in a minute. And, I'm suffering a little bit today. So, I've got up to do the podcast and then I am going straight back to bed to my heated blanket, which I left on all last night. Yes, I'm fucking old, people. I know I'm fucking old. I left it on all last night, woke up this morning and I was fucking seriously, how hot those things get. My electric blanket. I remember my grandma having an electric blanket and thinking that was an old person's thing. And now I'm right in there, people. I'm at that stage of life where I need an electric blanket. I know. I can't chat about the benefits of an electric blanket enough. I can't do it enough. So I'm feeling a little bit rough. I've got a fever and a cold, which is confusing because there's the old saying, feed a cold, starve a fever. I don't know which is going to be best for what, so I'm just eating normally. I've done the traditional route of what everybody does when they're ill. I went down the soup route. That's what I've done. I got some on the way home last night. I stopped at a fucking supermarket on the way home from a gig last night because I was feeling like dog shit and I thought, I am going fucking nowhere on Sunday. I am battening up the hatches, battening down the hatches, battening them up, whatever I'm doing. Whatever the fucking saying is, that's what I'm doing today. So I apologise for the gruff voice. If you're into people with a gruff voice, you dirty perverts out there, anybody likes somebody breathing heavy down the phone to them and wants that experience, play this episode a few times. You'll be able to fulfill all your needs, I dare say. That's it. I have no idea. I'm feeling like fucking shit. Absolute shit today. I'm fucking sweating. I know this is not a great thing that people want to listen to on the podcast, but I am fucking soaked in sweat. My fucking back. I don't know. Like you see these, when you see these people work out, usually on a TV show or something, and they've got the defined sweat lines. I have nothing like that. I have no defined TV sweat lines. I've just covered in fucking all down my fucking back, all my fucking titties. I know I'm starting to grow those as well, but there you go. So we'll see how we get on in this episode. It's going to be, it's going to be working through this for all of us, I think. Anyway, last night, actually, I'll start with Thursday's gig. I did a gig on Thursday in Leicester. It was the first night of a new night. I was closing it. I see a few American comedians that I see, and they're doing like 3 or 4 spots a night. That is just not possible here in the UK, mainly because there's not that many gigs and because most cities or towns, unless you're living in London, you can do a couple of spots a night in London. But I see a couple of guys I know in New York, and they're doing like 4 or 5 spots a night because you can go, because there's multiple shows in the night. and you can go from one show to the other and then back to the first club and then do 2 shows again there. Like, they start about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Some of the gigs out there start at like midday in New York, which is odd. But over here, yeah, you're doing like the maximum maximum you can do is like 2 spots a night if you're doing a double up, really. You open one and close the other. But so we have a little bit less stage time availability here in the UK, so you got to make the most of it. So I was closing a gig on Thursday night. It's the first night. There's a nice group of lads who run the gig. They're fucking lovely lads, it's clearly not been advertised that well. There's nobody there basically. So we're like, oh fucking hell, we're gonna get this is gonna be pulled. We get our money and then we can just fuck off. But the management insisted that the gig went ahead if we were gonna get our money, which I have no idea what it was about to achieve. First, they wanted to live stream it. They wanted to live stream the fucking gig to no audience. So, you get to broadcast yourself dying on your fucking hole in front of the other acts who are on that night. And the barman and the woman who owns the bar and the events manager, who clearly needs shooting for not actually selling any tickets at all. So fucking hell, my voice is going already. And what are we, like 7 minutes in, people? We've got 23 minutes to get through. Let's have a little bit of tea. Hang on. Nice slurp there for you. Anybody's into slurping of tea? There you go. You got your little fix there, didn't you? You dirty people. So there's like I'm closing it. There's 2 acts in the middle, and there's an opener, Oxy, a guy who lives around the Midlands from Dudley. I think he's from Dudley. No, Stourbridge. It doesn't matter where he's from. I'm sure it does to him, but it doesn't to you people. So he's opening. So we're like, well, are they just going to pull the gig? So they said, no, we're not going to pull the gig. We want to live stream it, and we want to put, because everything needs to be fucking live streamed these days. For some God knows why people want to live stream that. It's not a great advert. A, for the bar where it's happening, or B, for the comedians who are doing it. So I thought, fuck it, 20 minutes. I can get through 20 minutes. That's it. Oxy went on. He did all right at the start. I think there may have just been... Oh, no, there was another act. We shortened the night down. There was an act on after him. And then we took a break. And then a newer act called Hussein did like about 5 minutes before he brought me on. And then I just walked on. And... just doing it in front of the other acts, you can't do your fucking set. You can't really do material because a lot of it is like playing with that sort of, playing with the crowd a little bit and bouncing off the crowd. So I was just essentially doing 20 minutes of chatting to the woman who owned the bar, the events manager who was sitting right next to her, looking very shifty that he may not be keeping his job, and the barman who was chipping in from the back every now and again. The most sinister looking barman, I think he was Romanian. The owner of the place was Romanian. He was Romanian. There was 2 guys who came in like halfway through the gig who looked like they were Romanian as well, but they looked dodgy as fuck. They had barely any teeth in their head. One was wearing one of those truckers baseball cap type things, like with the netting at the back of it. And they went round. They were fist bumping people, shaking people's hands. I don't know what they were doing. They looked like they'd just come out of a Brazilian favela, and they were about to carjack somebody's car. That's what they looked like. They just looked, you know. I'm not casting any aspersions. I'm not saying all Romanian people are like that, but these two guys definitely look like that. They look like I said like that night. They genuinely looked like when they left that they were going back to cut somebody's little finger off, put it in a fucking envelope, and mail it off to somebody for a fucking ransom. They looked the two dodgiest. I mean, they were lovely. They were friendly. They were nice, but they looked as sinister as fuck when they were going round. And they were absolutely fucking hammered as well. Absolutely hammered. So, so they, you know, you're just trying to get through the 20 minutes. That's all you're doing. And you think, what is my price? What is my price for doing this? And that was my wage that I got paid in cash that night. I am willing to sell my soul sometimes, people. I should have, you know, it gets to the stage where you feel bad because you're like, are you really making us do this? You really want this masquerade of a night to go ahead? I think the woman, by the end of it, was actually quite happy that she didn't live stream it. Some of the fucking material that I went through and tried out, because you just think, fuck it, I'm getting paid for it anyway, but I might as well just try material here. It's fucking stage time. If I get a laugh off the comedians, that's fine. Because 20 minutes of just fucking around and asking questions, you know. I wasn't asking what they did for a living or anything like that. I didn't go in full MC mode. But yeah, it was just fucking painful trying to get through that 20 minutes and thinking, right, okay, that's my time done. Let's put all personal ego to one side. Let's put all of that to one side, and then we can just bash this fucking 20 minutes out the way. Hopefully the woman will be all right with everything. I was taking a piss out of her place and stuff like that. Doesn't, you know, take it too serious. It's weird. A few people do that every now and again. I had an act come up to me the other night about something I said at a gig like last year, and you're just like, well, yeah, I was fucking taking a piss. You know, I was trying to get through that fucking situation, and I was taking a piss. Come on, man. We're meant to be comedians, you know. Let's not be so fucking sensitive about everything. I thought you clearly realised that was a fucking piss take. Anyway, so that was Thursday's gig. Here we go. Let's have some more tea. I'm going to need some more fucking tea here. Let's hope my voice doesn't stay like this permanently, because it would be quite a jump with my look. Not that I've got a particularly deep voice anyway, but I don't think I'd be able to sell some of my material if it was just like me barking it out like this. There you go. We've ramped it up for you there. And now that's just destroyed my fucking voice even more. Anyway, Thursday. Yeah, so that was Thursday. Holy fucking shit. Thursday was 420 as well. I don't know if you're aware of this. There's a certain type of person who is aware of the 420, which is a very, again, here we go, importing Americanized fucking traditions over here. 420 is code for cannabis culture, and apparently the 20th of April, very much like, I've only really heard loads of people mention it this year. It seems to be this year something that has really caught on over here, like fucking Black Friday, or I don't know. The next thing will be school shootings. That's what we'll have. School shooting day over here. But yeah, some of that's caught on. over here. Obviously, it's all the fucking, cannabis heads, the guys who smoke weed, and hey man, chill out, man, just smoke some weed, you feel better about yourself, man. So that was quite painful doing that voice, actually. Yeah, this is something that's caught on. I've never really had. I heard 3 people talking about this today. Now that is a lot for me. You know what I mean? That's a lot of people for me. I interact with very few people. So having 3 people mention it today. Hey man, what'd you do for 420, man? You're from fucking Kettering. What the? Why are you putting on that voice for? I don't know. Yeah, so trying to make it. Hey man, I'm just gonna stay in. I'm gonna book a day's holiday on 420 and just get stoned, man. Good for you. I wish I could do that every day of my life. To be honest, I'm sweating like a fucking bastard right now as well. Maybe it's just the thought of all that fucking cannabis. The only thing about that is, I've never gotten on with it. I've tasted it. I've smoked a couple of doobies in my time. Is that what they used to say in my day in the 90s? Is that what they used to call it? I smoked a couple of joints, a couple of fucking reefers, a couple of the old Mary Janes. I never fucking got on with it at all. I didn't, I know where I am with alcohol. I know when I've had. I used to. Well, I say I know when I've had enough. I used to know when I've had enough. I haven't had a fucking drink in ages. I'm turning into one of those fucking lame asses. Yeah, I haven't had a drink in ages. I haven't smoked weed since the late 90s, I think. I can tell you the date, actually, of the last time I smoked weed. Let's Google it. Let's see how long ago it was. Oh, when was that? I can tell you the exact date. It was the 8th of June, 2002. It was the night of the Lewis Tyson fight, 2002. So what's that? I haven't smoked weed in 21 years. Where's my fucking round of applause? Hey? Where's my fucking... Hey, man, you're a fucking hero. You're so brave. I'm a fucking cannabis survivor, people. I never used to smoke it anyway that much, but that night was the one that did it for me. And I always thought, if Mike Tyson loses... No, I didn't think that at all. The only reason I remember that night is because somebody gave me some of their joint in a pub, and I was sat outside, he says, with too long an S, and I took about 3 drags off it. It was super strong, or it seemed super strong to me. Well, it's gonna, if you don't smoke it anyway. I was fucking half-cut pissed anyway, and the next minute I remember getting exceedingly tired, sitting down, and fell asleep in a bush. And one of my mates came out about half an hour later and woke me up. That's the effect it had on me. I threw a fucking horrible whitey, felt like shit. And when I say a whitey, I don't mean my complexion, people. I felt fucking horrendously sick. I hated that bit. When you fucking smoke it and it just feels like your head's in a fucking vice. That's what it did to me all the time. It just made me feel like my head's in a vice, and I started feeling sick, and it was fucking horrible. I can't relate to anybody who says, "Hey man, just have a fucking joint, man, and chill out. It's the best thing you can do." It always made me feel fucking sick, and my head spinning and shit like that. It reminded me of fucking car sickness when I was a kid. All I wanted was some Marmite sandwiches and some fucking plain ready salted crisps to settle my stomach afterwards. Yeah, it never did anything for me whatsoever, and the fucking smell of it now will make my stomach fucking churn, which is unfortunate, as we have an herb smoker. They smoke the herb. An herb smoker on this fucking floor somewhere where I'm living at the minute. Somebody likes the herb, man. You can. The weird thing about that is you can. They clearly like can't smell. That's one thing that weed smokers don't realise. You absolutely fucking reek of it, man. Absolutely fucking reek of it. And they have no idea. You can stand behind somebody in a fucking queue and just smell it on them. But I suppose they're so used to it. But yeah, that was 420 on Thursday, wasn't it? Yeah, 3 people this year. It's almost like a branded thing. It says here, I didn't know if you knew this, but it says the phrase 420. Chris Conrad, curator of the Oaksterdam Cannabis Museum in Oakland. Is there really a cannabis museum? I don't know. I suppose it's a bit easier out there in the States now, isn't it? Because everything's been fucking legalised. Isn't it? It's still illegal over here, I think. I don't know. I don't think you go to jail for it unless you're fucking selling shitloads or cannabis farming. Holy fucking shit. What sort of a cunt would do that? It says 420 started as a secret code among a group of friends at San Rafael High School in the early 1970s who called themselves the Waldos. They would often meet at 420 to get high. Is that where it comes from? And now, yeah. It'd be weird, wouldn't it, if it was like 10 to 5 or something and then like there's no day for it? I suppose they'd go like 10th of May, wouldn't they? Something like that. Or, 8 o'clock at night. 420. So they do. So yeah, that's the way the calendar, the fucking calendar goes in the States, and it's like fucking, as would be March, April 20th, wouldn't it, rather than 20th of April. I don't know. April 20th. No, April 20th is theirs, isn't it? Yeah. I'm getting fucking confused here. I know. All the brain cells are not firing today, people. They're not firing on all cylinders, are they? We're just trying to get through this. There we go. Some more tea. Let's lubricate up the fucking tonsils, people, shall we? Yeah, so another thing, obviously sad news with regards to the Barry Humphries dying, Dame Edna, who was a bit of a fixture of my ute, who for many years I have, when I was a child, I genuinely believed it was a woman. I genuinely believed that Dame Edna, because Barry Humphries made it massive in the UK. They had, he had his own show as Dame Edna on a Saturday night. He died aged 89 this week. And obviously, he was getting a lot of plaudits after he died, saying he was groundbreaking and that. And then a lot of people have also been slagging him off. That's what happens these days, isn't it? Somebody who is brilliant at their craft or whatever dies, and then they get a nice sort of, like tributes and eulogies, and then somebody on the internet will start slating them because of stuff they said about trans women. That's it. I think he described trans operations as self-mutilation or something like that. I think that was the thing. And a few people have been like, up in arms about him dying. I don't know. Or just making that statement, really, and having a go, saying he wasn't really that nice a guy. Although, obviously, his character, Dame Edna, was just fucking hilarious. I loved that character. It was specifically that character I loved. I wasn't really into the Les Patterson thing. I think you had to be more Australian than British to appreciate that. But it was, you know, funny. But the Dame Edna was just one of those, very much along the same lines as sort of like the Mrs. Merton character or whatever, or she was a little bit sweeter. But Dame Edna was like just fucking vicious. I mean, you see all those clips of comedians at the minute. Comedian takes down heckler and comedian zings fucking, you know, audience member or whatever. But Barry Humphries' Dame Edna was a fucking different class, man. With what they used to, she used to come out with, he used to come out with as that character. Fucking hell, Jesus Christ, it's a minefield, isn't it? Anyway, yeah, it was a shame. It was a shame. Although, you know, he hadn't done a lot in the last few years. But this is why you should never go in for a hip operation. This was complications, apparently, from a hip operation. The amount of people who are old, who fucking break their hip and then go in for a hip operation and then die due to complications in a hip operation. I swear to God, they just think, well, fuck, they treat old people like racehorses. As soon as they've fucking got a hip damage, for some reason, their operations have complications, and the next minute they're fucking gone. Gone. That's what I'm going. As soon as if I ever hit 80 years old, all I'm going to do is walk around in fucking bubble wrap. That's what I'm going to do. That's all you need to do. You hit 80 years old, you have fucking bubble wrap pajamas, you have a bubble wrap house coat over the top, you get up in the morning, put on your bubble wrap fucking trousers, your bubble wrap shirt, and just fucking constantly, you know, strapped up, trying to protect yourself. Because if you break your hip, you're fucked. Or they put you in a home. That's what they do. That's what they did with my nan's neighbour. She broke her hip falling down the stairs. The next minute she's in a home. The next minute, my nan's got foreign neighbours that she's banging on the window to. Fuck me. I've told that story already, I'm sure I have. If not, like, go back and listen. Anyway, so last night I was in Norwich. Here we go. At Norwich Rugby Club, which is fucking glorious. It's a hell of a... I fucking hate driving out that way, by the way, because you see it on the map. You see like 120 odd miles, and then it says 3 hours. And when you get within like an hour of the place, it says like you got 40 miles left, and it says it's going to take you about an hour. And you're like, these roads are going to be fucking dog shit, baby. Absolute dog shit. So, it's always frustrating. You know, single track fucking road. You get stuck behind a lorry, you're fucked unless you want to take your life in your own hands. Going around them, and then it's inevitable. You know, I haven't got the fucking balls to do that at this age. I've lived through too many experiences like that. Too many fucking experiences of just making it in just before I get hit head on by a car coming the other way. Too many experiences over the years. Makes you a little bit more cautious, especially when you you know, get a little bit older. Yeah, so I drove there. Felt like dog shit driving there to the gig last night. I did the gig. There was about 30 people there. It's in a rugby club. They all know each other, which changes the dynamics of the gig somewhat. So I had to go for a little bit of piss taking just to have some people in the audience just to get them on side a little bit. It doesn't seem like material straight away. You have to mention something. It's like a fucking corporate gig when everybody knows each other at a rugby club or something. But there was only like about 30. I just about got away with it. That was it. I just about got away with it, and made it out of there. And on the way home, stopped at a fucking supermarket, picked up my soup, and holy fucking shit, this is where we've come round, isn't it? I intend for the next episode to be more enlightening than this, people, but I have literally just been trying to get my way through it. Has nobody, here's £1 million idea for you, I'll leave. Why has nobody invented just a shot or a tablet that has like fucking adrenaline or something in there, something that counteracts what a cold does to you? It gives you no energy. It gives you fucking a snotty nose, banging headache. Why can't you just mix all those drugs into one fucking tablet so you've got the energy, or what is it? Just taking paracetamol, Red Bull, and watching porn. Is that what gets the fucking blood going? But you need something, don't you? Just a shot or something like that. Like the Limitless pill. You want that, but for colds. Something that just gives you fucking enough energy to get on with it. Maybe there is. Am I saying all this and you lot are screaming out there, yeah, it's fucking Nurofen, Ben? Yeah, Nurofen doesn't seem to work for me. Or it hasn't done anyway. You just have to sweat this out. Is that what you're telling me, people? I have to just eat normally, not starve it, not overfeed it. Oh, fucking hell. Anyway, people, I don't know. If anyone can come up with that pill, I want fucking royalties. I'll take fucking 1% of the royalties of that. If it's a fucking bona fide fucking pill, I'll make some money off that anyway, won't I? Anyway, sorry about the gruff voice, people. And sorry about the fucking trying to get to the end of this episode. Why didn't you just hold off on it, Ben? Because I feel the need to do 2 of these a week. Okay. Is that all right? Is that all right with you people out there? I have no idea. Anyway, I shall be back on Tuesday, possibly Wednesday, people, depending on how I'm fucking feeling and whether I make it through. Who knows? Who knows? Have a good rest of your weekend and the start of your working week, and I'll speak to you then. Take care.